All right, high rollers, Poker Night in America. Big money cash games featuring some of the biggest stars in poker. We've seen it. We love it. Now adding to its brand on the CBS Sports Network with a new show, Poker Night Live, a celebrity version set to debut March 20th via Rush Street Productions. And get this, Joe Stapleton, one of the most popular voices in the game, will not be calling the action. He'll be playing instead. With us now, three people key to the show. The man who will be calling the action, Jesse Abramowitz, poker player, announcer, writer, at Jesse Calls Poker on Twitter. Jamie Kerstetter, poker player and social media manager for Poker Night Live, the queen of poker Twitter, at Jamie Kerstetter. And of course, the host of the show, Joe Stapleton, comedian, announcer, all-around personality. Welcome to the show, guys. Great to have you.
Hey. Thank you for having me.
Joe, let's start with you. American Poker Awards last night. You were gunning for a second straight award for Broadcaster of the Year. What's your take on not winning? Nick Schulman's pretty good, right?
Nick Schulman is pretty good, and you know he brings some things to the table that I could never bring, being that I'm not a poker player. Or am I? I'm not actually. So you know, I was never at all, miffed or annoyed with Nick's presence because he brings something to the table that I cannot, and people really enjoy it. I will say the funniest thing that happened that kind of made me be like almost get annoyed was that when Nick was actually doing his job this summer, the guy that hired me for the big game, like back in 2009 or whatever, tweeted, "God, Nick Schulman's so good at this. I wish he had been around when we were hiring for the big
Oh, my God. You've had a tremendous career, man. You've been there for some of the biggest games in the world, right?
Yeah, there were a couple of, at the time it might have been it's certainly the biggest televised pot. I think it's gotten bigger now. There are a couple of $500,000 pots on the big game. So, yeah, so the American Poker Awards were great. It is an honor to be nominated. And also, I really don't think we have the kind of industry or the kind of awards where you're going to see people win multiple years in a row, like Matt Savage. Matt Savage won last night for, I think it was Industry Person of the Year or whatever. Matt's going to continue to be just as good at that job year in, year out, but, it's kind of our job with the awards to give other people some recognition. So between the fact that Nick was very good and that I had one last year, I really didn't go. I went in with no expectations of winning an award at all.
Yeah, Nick was great. We had him years ago on Big Game. That would have been a huge boost.
I mean, that guy, I really do enjoy listening to that guy commentate poker. He's got that voice. He's very laid back, conversational, and certainly, he can call out the hands. He certainly knows his stuff. What do you think of the American Poker Awards, you three? I mean, last night was a good night for poker. I see my man Jamie Staples wins for Streamer of the Year. Andrew Neeb wins. It was a good night all around. And some of these people that are putting it to the grind really getting credit for their work, right? It's well-deserved.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that
I'm going to let Jessica answer, but I just want to say Andrew Neeb won 2 awards, which was wild.
Yeah, I was saying that's the type of person that the award should highlight, like somebody who comes out of nowhere and gets a huge audience for himself and kind of broadcasts poker to new people. And that's the type of person that might not be winning bracelets or getting glory in other ways. So it's pretty cool that an award show would recognize him.
Yeah, especially because Jamie is tapped into that Twitch world, of course. And if you want to honor people for putting in an insane amount of work and just living, eating, breathing poker, that's definitely Jamie. He should have gone up there with the clothes that he used to wear back last year. He's pretty close to winning that wheat bet by now.
Well, I'll tell you what, I put a request out to him this morning for an interview and to congratulate him. He says, I'm in, but let's wait till April when the bet is resolved. What a great bet that was for Bill Perkins to put on to get this guy healthy, and he's really taken up the challenge. They might just do it.
They're pretty close at this point. Jamie looks fantastic.
I was talking to Adam Schwartz last night, who had a similar bet. He hosts a competing podcast. I'm not sure if you know, but he's had a transformation as well. And I made some comment that was kind of like yours, where you go it's great that Bill's encouraged you to be healthy, and Adam's like, I'm not healthy. I fucking run around with garbage bags tied to my body. I went to the sauna for 11 hours yesterday. It's the unhealthiest I've ever been. I'm about to die.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, I hope he wins that bet. And again, the Streamer of the Year, well-deserved on his part. He puts in a lot of work. I want to talk to you, Jamie. I want to know, first of all, your role with Poker Night Live and also how someone becomes the queen of poker Twitter. How do you do that?
I would never call myself the queen of poker Twitter. That's ridiculous.
You know why?
But, I do want
there's no reason to differentiate between male and female in this case.
Thank you.
Exactly, the top of poker Twitter.
There you go, the top of poker Twitter. I got you. Okay.
Beyonce of Twitter.
Yes, that's what I wanted to be called. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, I'm going to be doing their social media, and I'm going to go out to LA for a little while and actually get some player interviews going and try to make some funny skits with these guys. And yeah, just try to if you check out the Golden Knights Twitter, the kid's kind of annoying, but he also gave the company a voice and has rallied a ton of people behind their team. I'd like to be the annoying person who gets Poker Night a lot more people rally behind them.
Well, I'll tell you what, I love the show. I mean, you guys were on Twitch. It was a great brand, some great cash games. We talked about Jamie winning the Twitch Streamer of the Year. That really is quite a platform. What are you hoping to accomplish with this show, Jesse?
Well, I will be the voice in the sky, but I'm barely ever going to talk because the idea is that Joe is hosting, a Tonight Show with these stars of Hollywood, and they just so happen to be also playing poker at the same time. So the less I talk, the better the show will be. And I mean, there's a lot of room for things to go off the rails in a really good way, and I have no doubt that it will. So I'm just as excited as anyone else to see where it's going to actually go, because it is live, so anything can happen.
Are we just reading from the press release?
Now, I know you guys are good friends, right? But Joe's going to be playing. If he makes a bad play or a mistake or a terrible call or something, are you going to go easy on him or what?
No, not really. No, Joe knows exactly where he is in this game, I think. Joe, have you been taking lessons or anything?
Look, I haven't. I will fully admit that I was at one point a really, really terrible poker player. I'm not saying I'm a good poker player now, but I don't play often enough to know if I'm any good or not anymore. I think I've gotten better, but I also don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm there to have a good time. Poker's fucking, quote me on this, have a sound drop, whatever it is. Poker's never been about winning money for me, ever, which is why I don't play competitively. Poker, for me, has always been about having a good time with my friends, playing around with chips and cards, acting like I'm a big boy poker player, and having a reason to drink and get a massage on the table. I don't care about winning generally. I don't like losing, but I don't really care about winning. So I'm not really, this would be great if I wowed people and dazzled them with my poker skills in this game, but honestly, I don't care.
Well, I got to feel that you have improved over the years. I watch you all the time on those European Poker Tour broadcasts, Poker Stars TV, and you're actually playing some of the free rolls. I know you're playing and you're rubbing elbows with some of the biggest stars in the game, so it's gotta rub off on you, no?
You remember that early episode of The Simpsons where Bart goes to France, he gets kidnapped, and then all of a sudden one day he's just like, holy shit, I can speak French now because he's been there so long. That's kind of like me with poker. I'm like, oh, fuck, I learned something.
Well, they're billing it as the Hollywood home game. Jesse, I know you've worked on some big productions as well. The Big Game for Poker Stars, Party Poker Live. You've called Poker Night in America before several times. What are you hoping that is different with this game than some of the other broadcasts out there right now?
I hope that the dynamic at the table is so interesting and good that I never need to speak and that I forget that I'm actually there on set and I just become a viewer. And I just get to enjoy watching Joe play his pokers and, kind of go back and forth with whoever it is that decides they want to come on this new amazing television show.
And I also think that Jesse telling people how awful the move I'm making is good television. So I'm all for it.
Well, Joe, I think one of the reasons you're so popular is because you mentioned it there. You have a lot of fun at the poker table in the broadcast booth. I'm wondering your thoughts on where poker is these days with respect to that. I mean, you see a lot of guys with the hoodies and the sunglasses, and they're there. It's all business, right? Because there's so much money up for grabs. But do you think there needs to be more fun in the game?
We're beyond hoodies and sunglasses now. That's kind of a trope that we say. The hoodies and sunglasses era was more fun than the current era.
Wow.
They may have dropped the hoodies and the sunglasses. Look, I can't really criticize the people who play that way, by the way, because it's a job to them and it's a business, and they're sitting there and are trying to calculate a way to win. The game has begun to resemble chess with, the amount of thinking that goes into it, and also like commodities trading with the amount of seriousness that people have regarding the game. That's okay. But I think that there's definitely room for the poker that we all sort of fell in love with, at least our generation, which is, the guys that played TV when we all started watching poker on TV, they weren't always that good either. They certainly weren't GTO. They were better than us. So I think that, there's still always going to be room for that fun home game poker. And the current state of poker, it is what it is. And, I think that, and it's our jobs as commentators and TV producers to try to make what we can out of that.
So with your role as the host, so you're going to be playing, but you're going to be hosting as well. He said Johnny Carson. Is that what you're going to be doing, interviewing these people as well?
Yeah, see, in my mind, this show is not a poker show. It is a talk show that happens to be taking place around a poker table rather than, on couches and a desk, or, if you ever saw that Jon Favreau show, Dinner for Five or whatever, all these guys were out to dinner and you don't even see the food. Now, we're going to be showing the poker. The poker is going to be there, but to me, the entertainment of the show is going to be the conversations that we have, the shenanigans that we get into, and the poker is going to be, is going to be behind. And I don't think you need to have poker be the highlight to make people want to play poker.
Well, I can't wait for this. Again, it debuts March 20th, 13 weeks, every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Jamie, I do this as a hobby. I'm a poker fanatic. I love the game. I love watching all you guys play. I have 3,248 followers on Twitter, and I'm fascinated because this was all new to me, social media, everything. I'm wondering, this is big business for you guys, right? A brand new TV show. How are you going to approach it? I know you're going to be annoying. You're going to be a pest. You're going to be out there all the time. But can you give us some tips on how you promote personalities like Jesse and Joe and all the celebrities that are going to be at this table? Because it is fascinating to watch when those pots get so big.
Yeah, I think that the best way to promote this show is to just take clips that these people are, take the things that naturally happen in the show or, naturally happen in an interview and, put those clips on Twitter because people want to see, the funny things that happen or, some of the bloopers that are just going to happen because it's a live show. Things are going to happen that we're like, oh, man, I can't believe that's going on TV. And I just want to put those on Twitter and give people a taste of what this show is and try to drive some more of the audience to watching it.
Yeah, I love the concept. It should be great. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I want to pitch an idea to you on the air, the kind of thing we're thinking of. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so yesterday, Jesse and I, now if you know this or not, but Jesse was a musician in a former life. And Jesse has a hit single called Pizza Party. And it kind of goes like this. Pizza party, party, pizza party. It's a great song, okay? So I was thinking one of the things we could do on this show is we could have a pizza pot, and whoever loses the pizza pot has to go out and buy pizzas for everybody, and when they come back in, they have to serve everyone while Pizza Party plays.
I like that. Now, Jesse, I take it there's going to be some wine in the broadcast booth. Is that true?
I might be cut off, but the others are probably welcome.
Hey, Joe, listen, I've been meaning to have you on for a long time. I'm a big fan of yours, but I do have to make a confession. A few years ago, PokerStars put out a call for broadcasters, and I thought for some reason you were leaving. So I wrote a letter to James Hartigan explaining all the reasons why I would be much better than you at the job. And I gotta say, I quickly realized that I was way off. You're great at what you do, and I'm a big fan, and I just can't wait for this show.
Buddy, it's quite all right. Look, not that I think that you're a young man at this point. You've already had a career. When I was first on the scene, that's all I do is take shots at other people. One of the first articles I ever wrote was for something called Card Player College, which existed for about a year, I think. And I said something really awful about Chris Rose. And then 3 years later, I end up hosting a TV show with him. So whatever, no big deal. And look, the people who believe in themselves and think they're better than everyone else, those are the people that make it. So good for you for having the confidence. No, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah, I wrote the letter, and then I started watching the broadcast. I said, you know what? This guy's very good, man. What am I doing? What am I talking about here? Anyway, listen, one thing I know about Poker Night in America is that they've taken chances, right? They've had Salomon Ponte on. They've had a couple of big clashes.
So it's not really working out.
They had Kate and Mike going at it. I mean, they sort of push the boundaries, don't they? I mean, that's a good thing. And now they're a new venture in traditional television. I mean, this is all positive.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to handle this one?
Sure, I'll take a stab at it. Yeah, so obviously the current climate for televised poker isn't all that lucrative, so I think it's a major accomplishment for Rush Street Gaming and Todd Anderson, the executive producer behind Poker Night in America, to even still be here today and putting out new innovative shows, because, I mean, anyone can make a regular poker show, but the whole idea is to push the envelope in some direction and see what works. And here he's given this really innovative idea to let Joe play at the table. Everyone's kind of cherry picking who they really like and get along with, and we're trying to assemble a bit of like a very organically crafted, tight crew to try and bring out the best poker show here. And all the guys at Rush Street Poker Night in America are all very talented, funny dudes too. And I couldn't be more excited about Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You know Jesse's nickname is J-Cat, so if there's like a ball of yarn or anything like that, he just starts batting it around and forgets what he was doing.
This is going to be great then for like the live show. He like forgets what he's doing. I can't wait for that.
It's like Joe Stapleton, he raises.
No, it's gonna be a great show, and the nice part is that when things go wrong, they probably will actually look right, and it's gonna be a blast.
What does that mean?
Like we got Johnny Kedge on board, who produced The Big Game and WPT, and he's a really good dude, and everyone seems to like each other for the moment. So even if like I mess up and Joe wants to strangle me or Johnny wants to strangle me, like it'll be out of love, and then we'll grow together as people.
Jesse, I will never know if you screw up, because I'll be at the table and then I'm gonna go home. It's not like I'm gonna watch this shit later.
I'll tell you what, if this is gonna be like a talk show around a poker table, then maybe Jesse should be the sidekick band and play the opening music.
Pizza party.
Pizza party, baby. Joe, listen, I got to ask you, are any celebrities already lined up? And if not, can you tell us what your dream scenario would be in a big hand with Jesse calling the action and Jamie all set to tweet out the results? You've got some guy by the neck. What's the hand and who's the guy?
Paul Manafort, Jamie.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Maybe 45 would be a great person to have a hand around the neck of. My little dream team, I don't really have like a dream hand scenario, but look, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to name names because, you know, if we don't get it, I'll look stupid. But they are aiming very, very high. When I said this last night at the American Poker Awards, I was like, yeah, they're aiming really high with the celebrities. And they're like, really? You mean like Hank Azaria high? And I'm like, no, like really, really high. Like Academy Award winners high. So that's all well and good, and that'll be great. An idea that I have pitched that I really hope we can make happen. If the game's not totally full of Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio, I was hoping to have a Mad TV reunion. I used to work on the show Mad TV years ago, and Michael Key was always a big poker fan. Ike Barinholtz, big poker fan. Mo Collins plays some poker. So that for me would be really fun because I have a really good relationship with those people already. They knew me when I was 20 and 21 years old. Now they're all wildly successful, and I just think that would be and they're hilarious. They're super fucking funny people, improvisers by nature. So that, if we could somehow get that night together, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
And I guess it's going to be a good mix of celebrities and top-name pros, some of the outlandish guys. I mean, Phil Hellmuth comes to mind, Magic Antonio. You got to get in the hand with Phil Hellmuth. And I'm wondering what a Joe Stapleton touchdown celebration looks like when he flops down the nuts.
I'm not a gloater, and I don't really look, I love Phil's blow-ups. Like, they're fucking amazing. I don't like it when people needle him to get them. Like, it's kind of like, hey, you're driving through the safari park. If the monkey jumps on your car, fucking awesome, but, like, don't hold some Cheetos out the window.
And what about your comedy routine, Stapes? I got to ask you, are you busy with that? You do that often? I know you're very good at it.
I would say I'm very good at it. I'm okay at it. And I'm trying to get better. I can do as much or as little comedy as I want. The problem is that the sorts of opportunities that are being offered to me comedy-wise, especially in Los Angeles, aren't great ones or non-existent. So it's kind of like poker in that you can go play poker whenever you want. It just depends on how motivated you are. And I am often I traveled this winter from November 29th to January 27th. And even then, when I was home, I think my first stint home was like 8 or 9 days. So I'm not always super motivated when I get home from a 61-day trip to go out and grind the open mic scene. So, I do enjoy it, and I am getting better at it all the time. Unfortunately, because I'm goddamn so successful elsewhere, I don't have time to grind the stand-up scene.
Well, a couple of revealing facts here today. Joe is busy working, Jamie's going to be busy working, and Jesse's hoping to do nothing. Right, Jesse? Just hoping to sit there and watch him. By the way, I'll leave it at this. All three of you can answer this. What makes a good cash game? What is it? Just the action, or is it the personalities as well?
I would say gambling. People who are willing to gamble. I like people who are willing to talk a little bit of shit when they beat someone. Things like that, where you have some unexpected things happening. You're not just all sitting there with your charts trying to win your $85 an hour.
Are you gonna play, Jamie?
I don't know. I might. I kind of want to play because Stapes is in the game, and so it's free money for everyone. But we'll see. I think that it'll be in high demand, those seats, when they see who's playing.
I mean, that was one of my first questions. You probably already got him down as an easy mark.
Yeah.
All right, Joe and Jesse, last words on a good cash game and what we can expect March 20th.
Sure, I'll take a stab at this one also. I think that my favorite types of cash games are with heavy needlers and people being slightly overserved, just to get a realistic look inside of what it might really be like at a table. And anytime that people are overly engaged and affected by the elements around them, I like pointing out the weird things that are going on. And obviously, anytime someone is super tilted can be fun, because then everyone else at the table is cognizant of it, and you're in on the joke as the viewer.
I gotta tell you, Jesse notices some of the weirdest shit when he's doing commentary. I'll be preparing a show, and Jesse will be watching the same show to do some additional bits on it, and he'll send me a time code and be look how weird this dude's yawn is. And I'm Jesse, it's aces versus kings versus queens. How are you noticing the guy in the rail yawning?
He sent me the same thing, but it was the weirdest yawn I've ever seen.
Hey, we never know how important yawns are at the poker table, right? It might be their tell.
Yeah, it could be.
Hey, listen, this is going to be great. And I just had a thought. Next year, the American Poker Awards, Breakout Player of the Year, Joe Stapleton, Media Personality of the Year, Jamie Kerstetter, and Broadcaster of the Year, Jesse Abramowitz. How would that sound?
Really unfair.
Wait, it sounds really unrealistic.
All right, listen, Poker Night Live, coming to the CBS Sports Network March 20th, every Tuesday night for 13 weeks. I love it. I can't wait. Jesse Abramowitz, Jamie Kerstetter, and Joe Stapleton. Thanks so much, guys. Have fun with the show. I know you're going to have a lot of fun, actually. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.